A nigga was fucking with my girl.
Women deal with them because on average they just are not good, genuine people to be around. They're good to look at. They're good to work at brothels. They're good to try to take over a bar. They're good when they're handing you food as they're a waitress or they're on a call center call or something like that. But anything other than that, we really don't want 85% of y'all around. Just leave. Like it's sad to say, but it's the reality on it.
Yeah. I'm just testing the mic. Just leave. We back. Hit the like button. I think what's his name? Whole Math got a new video out. Maybe we'll go over that one. So many videos I want to go over, so little time. Let's see.
Who can
All right, first I want to go over this. Before we get into it, let me do my little spiel. If you want me to stay on 2 hours, I'm looking to meet a $15 live stream goal. Whatever you can give is greatly appreciated. Cash App and PayPal pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description. Or you could do super chat, super sticker. That's the dollar symbol on the right of the chat box. Hit the like button. Follow me over on Dating Dysfunctions and join the membership. It's only $5 a month. I just did 2 exclusive episodes, over 20 minutes long, 2 exclusive episodes this weekend. If you want access to those and all the other ones that are coming in the future, join over on the Dating Dysfunctions channel, $5 a month. Other than that, let's get into this ridiculous nonsense.
What's her name? Erivo. That Cynthia Erivo who's playing Wicked, the witch in Erivo, she said some really disparaging shit about African Americans. And then she ends up playing...
Is she British?
She's British Nigerian.
Okay.
If I'm right, I better be right, because I want to make sure if I'm not, you guys can go in the comments and go, he don't even got it right. That motherfucker don't say nothing right. You know, she said some disparaging shit about African Americans.
This nigga always crying about racism. DL Hughley always crying about racism. Godfrey always talking about racism and who said something about black people. Bro, get over it. Yeah, nobody like our black ass. Now move on with your life. I'm tired of the black crybabies. Yes, nobody likes us. Don't dedicate your life to crying about it. Cause it just make you sound weak, bro. Every time I see Godfrey, anytime he not telling the joke, I mean, he joke with everything he say, but you know what I mean. Anytime he not on the stage telling jokes, he crying about racism. That shit is pathetic, man. It's not, and maybe he not lying, but bro, you gotta find you gotta find something else to talk about or figure out a way to get over it. Go to therapy. I don't know, something. You're a professional victim. You're professionally triggered by some racial shit. I know you could probably kick my ass, Godfrey, but that's besides the point. I just really want him to stop bitching. I want all the black crybabies to stop bitching. Dr. Umar, Godfrey, who else? All the motherfuckers. It's not because it's not doing anything. I mean, it's not anybody who doesn't like black people isn't gonna see this video like, oh, I like black people now. So what are you trying to do? Get her canceled? What's the point of this, Godfrey? They're gonna say something disparaging about African Americans until the end of time. Please get a different subject to obsess over. That's really all I wanted to say about this, but let's finish it.
Right. You know how they. I said, she said some disparaging shit about African
What she
Americans.
say?
I want to make sure I quote it right, but if you can get your producer to find it, that would be cool.
Mario, try to
Because I don't want to say anything out of pocket. And she said some shit about which is funny how almost every foreigner has something to say badly about African Americans. Even Africans sometimes have fucked up shit to say about African Americans, but then everybody comes to America trying to be African American.
Look, just listen. Well, do you even know what she said, brother? I mean, you seem very bothered by it, but you can't even really recall or quote or even like paraphrase good enough for it to be close enough. But you triggered. It just comes across very weak. Be more stoic, Godfrey. You gonna let something this bitch below said trigger you? No, you need to toughen the fuck up. I mean, look, I'm sure there's something this woman at the bottom could say to me that could trigger me in person, but somebody saying a general statement in an interview or something, nah. To be this bothered by somebody not liking you or saying something disparaging about you, it is a sign of insecurity and low self-esteem, Godfrey. Oh, let's continue.
And benefit off of our struggle and the work that we put in.
Yeah. And what's really fun.
I mean, look, shout out to, it's not that I don't respect these people in other ways, like other things about them, but the same thing go for Willie D from the Ghetto Boys. It's always this race shit. I want black people to just evolve past this race shit. Even if all the racism is still in place, all the systematic racism or whatever they saying, let's just say that's never going to change. I want us to get another identity. When people hear black people talk, I want black people to start being known for talking about anything other than race. Let's talk about theoretical physics. Let's talk about the stock market. Fuck it, let's talk about saving koalas or something. Anything but just race shit. I'm just over it.
Fucked up is she ended up playing Harriet Tubman. I go, wait a minute, you just talked about and shit on African Americans, and you're going to talk about the woman that did so much for African American freedom? You get to play her? You're fucking playing
Bro, who gives a fuck? Like, seriously, whose life is really being disrupted because whoever this lady is below is playing Harriet Tubman? I don't give a fuck about who played Harriet Tubman in some dumbass movie. Godfrey, I'm pretty sure there's something else in your life you could be worried about too. I mean, granted, maybe the interviewer asked him about her, but even still, like this much fire in your belly about it is off-putting.
Harriet fucking Tubman? Are you out of your fucking mind? Harriet Tubman would have smacked the shit out of you if you said what you said.
You don't know, Godfrey, frankly, sir, you don't know what Harriet Tubman would have done. So now we talking about hypotheticals of what Harriet Tubman would have did if she would have heard this. Look, come on, we've gone too far, Godfrey. Don't speak for Harriet Tubman, Godfrey. That could be seen as controversial.
How could you say that? How could anybody that looks like you come into America and talk about African Americans when they are the ones that have created the foundation for foreigners to come in? The 1964 Civil Rights Bill is the reason why Koreans, Nigerians, Indians, Arabs can come in and open up businesses in black neighborhoods and still disrespect the fucking same people that are putting money in their pockets. What kind of...
Well, hey, who should we be more mad at? The motherfuckers for being who we knew they were, or still putting money in their pockets? I just
fucking nerve is that? It's the serious hatred of African Americans in this country. It's in the soil. It's in the fucking soil. Like,
okay, Godfrey, brother. Let's just okay, cool. You right. It's in the soil of America to hate niggas. Are you gonna dedicate your whole life to crying about it? Because it's not gonna change it. Godfrey crying about it on podcast ain't gonna change it. You might as well find something else to focus on, man.
Like my boy Dante says, that's my co-host. He says it's in the source. It's almost patriotic to hate black people. It's patriotic. It's part of the.
Damn.
It's part of that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's part of the American thing to hate black people. What's her name? Arrivo.
Okay. Anyway, I'll skip that one for now. Let's.
I think marriage is.
We already kind of went over that. Let's just do this.
Salute to the MABW team. I'm back with another video. Government help. How are men coming up? We can't weaponize stuff. There's no weaponization against you. Stop with the narrative. I'm not going to talk anymore. Let's get right into the damn video.
Matter how good of a woman you think you is. It don't matter how loyal, how faithful, how much you cook, clean, keep yourself together.
See,
oh gosh, let's go back. Love with men do not exist. Ma'am, we could tell by the door knocker earrings, the nameplate necklace, and the long ghetto ass Baps fingernails that you were never any type of good woman your whole fucking life. Look, this is speculation and generalizations, but I'm just making an educated guess. We know what type of niggas you fuck with. Never mind. You just gotta be careful who you listening to, folks.
Good of a woman you think you is. It don't matter how loyal, how faithful, how much you cook, clean, keep yourself together.
See, Miss Mooney Long, she has learned what I have learned, the same information that Shira has learned, and is teaching people, trying to teach these young girls. This idea of love when it comes to a man is falsified. You have been lied to. Pretty much what she's saying is, look, I've learned, because she's been married for years. She's pretty much saying, look, I did everything that I thought was possible to keep a man. I made sure I looked good. I cooked. I cleaned. I held them down. I did everything.
But none of that matters if you do it for the wrong men. Men who you knew the first day you met them were the wrong men. Dumbass arguments. What type of man did you do it for? I'm going to say it again. Women know at 6 years old who the good boys are, who will never do anything wrong in a relationship, and who the challenging bad boys are, who will be fun and exciting and put them on that emotional roller coaster. They know at 6. These bitches ain't getting tricked. Bars. They're not getting tricked. Yes, duh. If you be an incredible woman to a horrible man, it ain't gonna work out. Duh, bitch. That doesn't mean love doesn't exist. Love don't exist with the monsters you pick. Bars. But love exists with most men, 80% of men. The 80% of men you want nothing to do with. That's what the true love is. You don't want it, bitch. So stop trying to talk down on all men, because you too retarded to pick a decent man. You heard me? On my masterpiece shit.
For years. She's pretty much saying, look, I did everything that I thought was possible to keep a man. I made sure I looked good. I cooked. I cleaned. I held them down. I did everything. All what these men are saying, I need a woman to do da-da-da-da. She did it. And she said at the end of the day, men gonna be men. They still gonna cheat. They still gonna lie.
Look, bitch. And I'm not calling her a bitch. I'm calling the demon inside of her a bitch. Look, bitch. Statistically speaking, 70% of men don't cheat. So is it a coincidence that you always find yourself with dudes who cheat? And let me ask you this, right? This lady right here in the green. And this a masculine ass bitch like Queen Latifah and Set It Off for those who've seen it. Salute to Mysterio or Mr. Oh, I'm sorry, not Mysterio. Salute to Mr. 070. Did you ever cheat? They ain't gonna see, they don't dive in on that. Did you cheat back? Yeah, you ain't gonna dive in on that.
You could do everything you think, and they still gonna do what they want to do.
And that doesn't happen when it comes to men either. So men, you could be the provider, you could be the protector, you can give these women everything that they want, but they still won't end up complaining. Once again, if y'all don't believe what I'm saying,
I had a woman tell me that. I was talking to a woman, like, generally speaking, I'm like, you know, the stuff that you complain about with your man or whatever, do you think you would complain less if you got a different man? And she just admitted, like, nah, probably not. At least she admitted it. They gonna find something regardless to bitch and cry about and play victim about.
go watch Hit and Hers, the podcast with the battle rapper Hitman Holla and his wife Cinnamon. Dude is literally doing every single thing he.
Okay, you already took a L if your wife's name is Cinnamon. Whatever Cinnamon is putting you through. Look, this goes out to all men with wives named Cinnamon. Whatever Cinnamon putting you through, you totally deserve it by having a wife named Cinnamon.
Doing every single thing he can do for that lady. She ain't have to work in 10 years. She got all the houses she wants, the cars, the bags, the jewelry, the marriage, the baby. She's still complaining. Everybody, there's certain situations that are going to happen. This is real life. That doesn't mean that's going to be the situation or it's going to be problematic for every man that's with a woman to pretty much break up. That doesn't mean that's the situation. These women, sometimes they will hear what one woman been through online, okay? Or maybe even 2 or 3. It doesn't matter because everybody has their own situation. I'm just saying this because I got sons, and these grown women that come online, they're not teaching the younger generation of women nothing. And this is why we have to teach our sons now, fellas, respectfully. Let's get it.
So she was at the tail end of that video was saying she don't believe in love. It's a fairy tale. And a lot of
let me just cut in right here. I always talk about the fairy tale, how the fairy tale doesn't exist, and it doesn't. But love is real. I do believe in love. I don't know if I ever said it, but love is difficult. Human beings are extremely flawed, so love is real. But the full reality of what love is and loving somebody through their flaws is ugly. It can get ugly and brutal, but it's still a thing. Love is still a thing. I don't think I've ever said I don't believe in love on this channel. But yeah, it ain't nothing like the movies, so I assure you.
the reasons why women do believe in fairy tale love with men is because of Disney. It's because of what they were taught when they were girls.
I believe that.
What the media pushed out to you. Disney told you, oh, love between a man and a woman can exist.
No, you know what? Let me start. But see, this is the thing. See, you know what men like me say and a bunch of the bros? We always tell women we always tell women, especially ones that come on, life ain't a fairy tale or a movie. So that's why I said we know this is real life. We don't push out propaganda. Y'all do live by them fairies. Some women, y'all do live by fairy tale and Disney movies, or these so-called Tyler Perry movies, or these so-called Steve Harvey movies. Think like a woman, but act like a man. Tyler Perry pushing out these agendas where it's always this woman with 3 baby daddies, 15 kids, and the white knight in China armor comes. That ain't real life. I always say that. That's why I don't affluently watch these type of movies. And she looking at you mad. It's like, what the fuck you mad at me for?
Genuine true love, it doesn't exist with men. And the moment that a lot of these young girls
Genuine love don't exist with men. Like that is just it just isn't true. It just isn't based in reality. There's a much better argument that women don't genuinely love men. They just love what we can do for them and what we can give them and how we can make them feel. Men die for women every day. Men give kidneys to women every day. Like there is no argument that most men don't love the women that they're with. There really isn't any strong, like even the whole cheating argument, which only applies to 30% of men, statistically speaking. I don't even go for that. I think you can love somebody and still cheat on them. I think you can genuinely love somebody and still cheat. Men love women. I don't give it like there really isn't even any argument. And the proof is in our actions. It ain't just in us saying, "Oh baby, I love you." It's in the actions. Now the argument that women don't really love men, that's wrong.
Girls and just women. It ain't even the young girls. It's older women too. When you finally truly accept that authentic love with a man will never exist, it's always going to be conditional.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Relationships are transactional, and yeah, love is conditional. Other than maybe the love of your mother or something, that's life. Get over it. It ain't just men or men to women, women to men. It's just life. All relationships are transactional to some extent. Most people don't want to be with a person who's literally going to do nothing for them ever. What kind of relationship is that? The fuck? They want to be loved while giving nothing. They feel entitled to a man's love while giving him nothing in return. That's really what she's saying.
This is why Shira 7 say
7. Any woman that watches Shira 7 to me, for the most part, y'all pretty much cooked in my eyes if you watch Shira 7. The shit that she pushes out. But go ahead.
Make sure before you even get in anything with a man, you understand what you're trying to get out of it. If you're trying to get a lifestyle.
And now women, once again, do y'all see why men act the way they act with you? Women like this, at least the women online. You find out. See, they want women to think ahead. What are you gonna get out of this man? As far as everything, always it deals with money or gains or assets, something. Why you think, for the most part, Shira 7 don't possibly, I'm gonna say allegedly, possibly don't care that her significant other is up in a way, possibly. She probably got what she wanted out of the deal. She was online, merry go happy, still doing videos like nothing happened. Her husband passed away. She was still doing videos the next day for the most part. No.
That's diabolical, bro. That's diabolical. Yeah, she didn't give a fuck about him. I mean, you could tell that just by her videos that she didn't give a fuck about her husband. That she was just using him for money. That's what her whole page is about. She didn't give a fuck if he died. It was all about the money. It's always about money with these whores. Especially black women. Like I always say, if you didn't meet her before 25, the chances that she's with you because love, slim to none. And I got a meme to go with that. And at this point, y'all probably tired of seeing, but I'm never going to stop playing it because it's just so relevant to my damn channel.
Once a woman hits 30, she cannot love you. Okay? And the marriage is not because she loves you. Okay? That marriage is for her to show to other people that she could fix her past, that she messed up.
No mourning, no nothing. But these are the women like this, black women like this, that look up to Shira 7. Now, I'm just going to ask, next day after losing your significant other, you didn't care about your significant other. I don't care who you are. Let's continue with the damn video.
Make sure you get that lifestyle. If you trying to get some money, make sure you get that money. Look. Because even she know genuine, authentic love don't exist. Because even with her husband used her to make himself look better. He didn't really love Shira for who she was, and Shira knew that. Wow. So she said,
Let's talk about that. He was I guess let's just say a wealthy man who thought Shira was pretty. I don't think she's attractive, but whatever. Matter of fact, let me Google something. Are both of Shira Seven's kids from the man that recently passed? Shira Seven, does she have children, and who are they by? Are they by her late husband? Let's see. Yeah, I think the kids are by him. Let's pull her up real quick. What an evil woman. What an evil woman. You know what? I don't even want to pull her up. But this is the point I wanted to make. Even if the husband got with her because she was young and pretty at the time and married her, and her being young and pretty made him look good, over the years, that man probably fell in love with this woman. And she probably never loved him. If I had to just take a wild guess. I feel like even when men marry for the wrong reasons, they still end up loving the woman. And when a woman married for the wrong reasons, she never loved the man. It's possible, but it's very rare.
Her husband used her to make himself look better. He didn't really love Shira for who she was, and Shira knew that. So she said, okay, you want me around because I make you look better to your peers and your friends and for your business? Cool. I'm going to make sure you pay for my life.
But that was always the setup from the beginning of mankind. That's not like some new special deal that was set up. Yeah, you give me pussy and kids and I'll take care of you for the rest of your life. She acting like she just saying some groundbreaking shit. That's always been the fucking deal. What the fuck are you on about?
Around because I make you look better to your peers and your friends and for your business? Cool. I'm going to make sure you pay for my life. The women who try.
That's such a crazy, goofy life to live. She was with that man. She know that man only wanted her around possibly to make him look better. So she's going to stick it out with this man for probably 5, 10, or 15 years, whatever it may be, just because she wants something out of the deal. And goofy bops like you believe that narrative. So yeah, just stick it out with somebody you don't care about either. I'm just.
You know what? But I'll give Shira Seven some credit. Even if she is an evil witch, she played the game right and won. Mary, I don't know if he was rich. Man, let me try to Google it. Was Shira Seven's husband wealthy? Okay, yeah. So according to her, he was wealthy. So she played the prosty game right. I'll give it to her. She settled down with a rich man. She was able to attract, lock down, marry a rich man, have his kids, and she was set for life because she made that decision. I gotta give it to her because a lot of these dingbat bitches aren't smart enough or skilled enough or whatever enough to pull that off. So I give her props for that.
She wants something out of the deal. And goofy bops like you believe that narrative. So yeah, just stick it out with somebody you don't care about either. I'm just going to be around this person. Your time is of the essence. Y'all want to stay with somebody that y'all
authentic true love.
These chicks are dumb. Respectfully, they're dumb.
They know authentic true love with men don't exist. That's why I'm not looking for anything with no man. Because
you're hurt, baby. You're hurt. You overweight, you masculine. I understand why men just use you for sex and keep it moving, or leave you after the second date because they like, no, I ain't dealing with this shit. That's why you hurt and mad and on the internet talking like this. Because men don't fucking like you, and I totally understand why.
I'm
gonna let the bros take up with that. I'm gonna let the bros go at this one. She ain't looking for anything with a man. Go ahead, fellas. I don't think men are looking for anything with you. Respectfully, let's continue with the damn video.
Unless I want to get something out of it. That would be the only reason why I would be in any relationship with a man, because I want a certain lifestyle. I want some money.
And you don't look good enough, baby. I mean, you're not bad looking. You're not bad looking, but you look big and you masculine. That ain't happening. You don't got to worry about using a man for his money. You ain't got to worry about a Shira 7 outcome. Matter of fact, let me see how long she was with her husband. How long was Shira 7 married to her husband? How long was Shira 7 married to her husband? Okay, it says she was married to him for 20 years. Let's see how old this bitch is. How old is Shira 7? How old is Shira 7? Oh yeah, okay, it makes sense now. It makes sense. She is 47 years old. She's been married to her husband for 20 years. So she's been married to him since she was 27, after the mental wall was hit. Who knows how long she knew him? Let's see if I can figure it out. How long did Shira 7 know her husband before she got married? Okay, they met in a bar, y'all. They met in a bar. And I don't think they met in the bar when she was like 21. They probably met when she was like 24, 25. Dated probably for a couple years and got married. She did the right thing. But look, she cashed out right at the tail end. She's cashed out right at the right point at 25, 24, 25. She did what she was supposed to do as a woman. She won as a woman. She got 2 kids and she married rich. She carried out the biological imperative, or whatever you want to call it, as woman. So I got to give her a prop. She won. More than I could say for most of the other women I go over. She did what I would have told her to do. So I mean, she's a horrible person, but from a dating standpoint, I got to give her her props.
That would be the only reason why I would be in any relationship with a man, because I want a certain lifestyle. I want some money.
Lady,
I want, maybe he can help me with a business. Like, he gonna have to do, because men cannot authentically love women without getting something out of it.
Yeah. Why shouldn't we get something out of it? You're the only one that should get something out of it. And we know women can't love men without getting something out of it. You're inherently going to get something out of it, because men just inherently bring value to women's lives. But you don't think we should get anything in return. Fuck you.
What are we getting out of it, though? What are men getting out of the deal? Some woman, explain this one to me. For the most part, from the women that y'all see online, see, I'm just asking the women that watch this stuff as entertainment. What are these women giving to men, period? What are men getting out of the deal? Once again, if men ask them to cook and clean, they think we're oppressing them. But they'll still spit out, they want us to be the provider and protector and pay all the bills. What are we getting out of it? That's why I said, who's pushing this narrative and this agenda? Who? We ask women to do something that once again, that your mama should have taught you. Your mama. Your mama should have taught you, listen, if you want to possibly keep a man, make sure you feel he is.
Lovers. They're conditional. It's under certain conditions. In the moment women really wake up to that.
But what she just said wasn't under certain conditions. She's saying that we're using them and it's under certain conditions, but these women get online day in and day out talking about the conditions and what men have to do. Men don't come online spewing this rhetoric. They don't. You don't.
These women are trying to tell y'all gonna have to keep getting hurt to truly understand what's really happening.
Whatever.
You know that feeling you get when you have a crush? You get the butterflies in the tummy. That shit's just hormones. Love is not fucking real. Romance was created for and by men. Historically.
How many drugs are you on, ma'am? How many fucking drugs are you on? And I hope you got that kid poster behind you because you're retarded and not because you reproduced. For the child's sake. For this hypothetical child's sake. And what do I tell you guys? If they got sharp nails, bail. It's one thing to have some long ghetto nails. I mean, I would say bail on that too. But I would give that more leeway than the claw, like the actual demon claws with sharp tips. Yeah.
To truly understand what's really happening.
Whatever.
You know that feeling you get when you have a crush? You get the butterflies in the tummy. That shit's just hormones. Love is not fucking real. Romance was created for and by men. Historically, women wanted to
create romance.
Okay, romance was created by men. Yeah, because we're the real loving ones, you fucking twats. Women aren't romantic. How often do women? I mean, I've had a couple of women do some romantic stuff for me. I'll admit it. But I don't think that's very common. Most women aren't romantic to their man. You're going to take time out to plan something really nice and shit. Women aren't naturally romantic.
Romance was created for and by men. In what multiverse? Y'all really got this narrative that men created. You always hear this. It was one woman. Remember?
Yeah, men created everything to try to make you miserable fucking demons happy. And it never worked because nothing can make you bitches happy. Yeah, men pretty much created society for you bitches. And all you do is use our invention like the internet to shit on us because you're horrible people.
Y'all really got this narrative that men created. You always hear this. It was one woman. Remember that lady? She said that she believed the bitter auntie, the 55-year-old. She said that she believed that men congregated together and created the Bible to oppress women. I was like in shock. She really thought a bunch of men came together, created the Bible to oppress women. They just say they just say
date noble men. We wanted to date men that could offer us things, that had skill. So all these broke men were like, well, how are we supposed to secure women? So they literally made up romantic love. Women used to primarily pick and choose their partners, and now men do. But not every man is owed a woman or fucking deserves one. So now we've got...
Men are the ones who pick and choose their partners. Men don't run the dating game unless they out raping bitches. Women choose who can have sex and who can't have sex. She's talking about the top 10 percenters because those are only men they acknowledge as human. Like, oh my gosh. So what, you think back in the day, all women got with the high producing men? You dumb as fuck. You don't know shit about history.
We wanted to date men that could offer us things, that had skill. So all these broke men were like, well, how are we supposed to secure women? So they literally made up romantic love. Women,
Look, bitch, I'm sure most of the men in your family are broke, and you're fucking broke. I love it when broke women try to shame men about being broke. You broke too, bitch. And you can't say the patriarchy because it's just as many women making big money as there is men. I mean, times have changed. Women got more college degrees than some more shit. Why is your punk ass broke? Let's talk about that. In a society that's leaning towards, just advantaging women over men. Why the fuck you broke?
used to primarily pick and choose their partners, and now men do. But not every man is owed a woman or fucking deserves one. So now we've got incels out here breeding when they were supposed to just die out.
So we have a bunch of incels breeding. That's fucking retarded. Do you even know what incel means, you slow hoe? This that slow hoe Gwen AZ and Nas was talking about. Like, this that slow hoe Gwen. Incel is involuntary celibate. How the fuck is an involuntary celibate having all these kids? They can't even get some pussy to begin with, you dumbass. See, this is... Never mind.
Romantic love. Women used to primarily pick and choose their partners, and now men do. But not every man is owed a woman or fucking deserves one. So now we've got incels out here breeding when they were supposed to just die out. So when you're like, but daddy, I love him.
And you see how cavalierly they talking about... Do you see how... Do you hear and see how cavalierly she's talking about men just dying out? If we talking about weak motherfuckers dying out, 80% of women would be wiped the fuck out if that was the new rule. That weak worthless motherfuckers get wiped out. We would just have babies. Like, man, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started, man. Because men would just make bitches have 3 or 4 kids and then wipe them out. And do that every generation. Have your 3 or 4 kids and then we wipe you out, so you don't gotta be a burden on society. You don't want us to go to Darwinism. If we really was basing it off who the weakest links are in society, the only reason we keep you around is your fucking hole and the ability to shit out some kids. I'm getting brutal now because she pissed me off. Okay? If it wasn't for your hole, trust me, yeah, bitches would, man, that's the only thing that's kept you alive throughout humanity. It wasn't any of your skills or great intellect. It was just your hole.
Now we've got incels out here breeding when they were supposed to just die out. So when you're like, but daddy, I love him, I can't leave him. No, you don't. It's that oxytocin going off in your body. Love is an action. It is what you do for people. There's no knight in shining armor on a white horse that's going to come save you.
We always say that. Ma'am, you got a fucking mullet. I'm going to let that marinate. Ma'am, you have a mullet. Take your ass back to whatever barn and milk some cows and do what you got a fucking mullet. Man, let's continue with the damn video. I'm so tired of these bops.
Most women get played because they don't know that dating is a game. And I know the lover girl is gonna be like, why does dating have to be a game?
You're mentally ill and everybody knows it. The sleeve tattoo, the nose ring, nobody should give a fuck about what you're talking about. Period. She don't know what she want to be. The dread, she natural. She an earthy girl, but then it's just, I don't know, man. I guess it fit the aesthetic. The earthy woo-woo shit mixed with the tats and the nose ring. Oh, gosh. Yeah, dating is dumb. Women are supposed to be married off before 25. If you're still dating, it's because you had the wrong morals and values when you were young and in your prime. Point blank period, and you was probably raised wrong. So yeah, now you stuck in the fuck loop that is called dating.
Let's continue with the damn video. I'm so tired of these bops.
Most women get played because they don't know that dating is a game. And I know the lover girl is gonna be like, why does dating have to be a game? Why can't we just be real about our feelings? Because guess what, sweetheart? Men are not real. They are the creators of manipulation. That's why it starts.
Bitch, we the creators of anything. We the creators of everything, bitch. Because we're so superior to you. You wait for us to create some shit and then you try to take it on. Because you're fucking pathetic. Can you talk about that aspect of things?
Have to be a game. Why can't we just be real about our feelings? Because guess what, sweetheart? Men are not real. They are the creators of manipulation. That's why it starts.
We create we're the creators of manipulation. Yeah, some of y'all read the Bible, right? Y'all read the story about Adam and Eve, right? I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's continue. Who started this shit? Just go back to Adam and Eve, do y'all research. Who started this shit? Men are the creators of manipulation. Like, really? And y'all gonna run with this shit too, huh?
Starts with a man for a reason. And you have been programmed with this brainwashing belief, which is called romanticism. And that is for broke men to bribe you with this romantic love.
They get all their arguments from other women on TikTok. They can't come up with their own thought to save their life. They literally just repeat what they heard another bitch say on TikTok the same day. They can't even come up with their own content. Like I said, pathetic. And it's all about who's broke. But they be broke. That's the part that just pee me off. Look, okay, cool. Most men are broke. Get a rich man then. If you qualify for a rich man, you would have one, but you don't. So you're just going to be on the internet shaming your dating pool and not getting what you desire. It's not really a W, man. Broke men are... They never say broke women because they don't even view a woman as being broke. They just figure she hasn't met the right man yet.
To give you crumbs.
A broke man can bribe you with romantic love. If you receive them crumbs, guess what the issue is? You're the issue at Baden. Because you let a broke man bribe you with crumbs. That means you wanted something. If you accepted them crumbs, you got to deal with your own problems. What that got to do with every other man out here? That's because you wanted something out of him. Can't no man bribe you with crumbs to be with him, because you're going to see what his lifestyle is like if you truly vet that man. Let's continue.
To sell you this dream, this fantasy of a Prince Charming coming to save you from yourself. Until you lose that hope of thinking that someone is supposed to save you from yourself, you are going to operate in this state of desperation. You will always end up losing in this game because it is rigged for women, and you give so much of yourself. You overextend yourself. You ignore the red flags because you want this aspiration of love so desperately bad. But until you realize that dating is not a priority, not even a purpose, it is probably just something to do when you have nothing.
It is a priority, though. Men, why is it a priority for them?
Well, there's millions of women online complaining about dating even in their 60s and 70s. Women are always going to care about love and men and getting in a relationship. This whole decenter men movement, it isn't working. It isn't fucking working.
Because they know they can get something out of it. And you always hear them talk about what they can get out of it. Or if you're going to do it, make sure you can get something out of it. That's why they date. Once again, they want winners, not losers. These women know who they're dating. And if they're dating a pookie or they're dating a loser, that's on them. They know. These women be knowing what they're getting into with certain men. Shit is not a myth. These women be grown.
Y'all aren't gonna get somebody to come pay for you. You're not worth it. That's why you on here instead of somewhere sitting in the lap of luxury, because you ain't worth a lap of luxury. You're getting older every year, boo boo. You better figure something out.
They know what they're getting into. It's not like they're fucking teeny boppers out here. They know what the hell they're getting into.
Nothing to do. You can get into this dating world and just experience, have fun, not take these hoes so seriously.
See, they can't even come up with their own slang. Like she got that from men, calling men hoes. She got that from us because we call y'all hoes. They can't come up with their own thing to say their life, man. I promise you. They want to be us so bad. That's like I said earlier. That's one of the reasons they hate us. They hate us because they ain't us.
But women are so green, they'll let anybody get in between.
I know they have always.
I would call that a hoe. That's what I would call it. Unfortunately, guess what we have in the world, fellas and ladies? We got hoes out there. There are women that will just give it up easily to men. That's life. They talk about shit that just happens in life. That's what's weird. They talk about regular shit that happens in life. There's fast women out there. Whoop-de-doo. Just be glad you ain't the fast woman if that, what you're not. Be happy you're not one of them.
Sold women this delusion that love is enough and this idea of romantic love, and it's enough for you to just get married because you love them and spend the rest of your life without asking something in return. And if you ask something in return,
If a woman get in a relationship and a marriage with a man who never did nothing for her, she's the retard. She deserves to be made fun of and laughed at. What percentage of women do y'all think marry men who never did anything for him? From the jump, from the day he met her, he never did nothing for her, but she said yes to his marriage proposal. Buying a ring for you and getting on one knee and marrying you is doing something for you. Like, you see, they just don't think before they talk. And y'all coming up with these epiphanies like, you know what, we about to stop dating for love and start dating for money. That still don't mean you qualify for a man with money. You can say whatever you want on TikTok. Every woman on the planet could stop dating for love. It don't mean they're gonna get a rich man. Because they declared that they dating for money now.
sold women this delusion that love is enough and this idea of romantic love, and it's enough for you to just get married because you love them and spend the rest of your life without asking something in return. And if you ask something in return, they tag you a gold digger. But I'm telling you that do not marry a man without expecting a lot of things in return. Do not marry a man without considering how that marriage is going to benefit you, how it's going to make your life easy as a woman. Because I can guarantee you that no man is marrying you simply because of love.
What are they marrying you for? Just to have a cook and clean? It would be cheaper to literally hire a cooker and a chef and a prostitute a couple times a month. And then they don't got to hear your mouth and you going on emotional tangents and freaking out and belittling them and trying to control them. It would be cheaper if they hired a prostitute, a chef, and a maid. Why would they do it if it wasn't for love? Most woes are unbearable in relationships. And a lot of guys hear that from older men in their lives, but they still do it. Why do you think that is? Not because of love? Stop it.
They have calculated what they will gain from you. And that is because no love.
What are we gaining? These women keep saying the same. What are men gaining from marriage? Somebody answer that. What are we gaining?
It's unconditional. So stop falling for that delusion of, love is enough. When you just love him, you marry and spend the rest of your life with him. Do not care about money. Do not care about what you will gain. People that care about are gold digger. Be a gold digger. And I'm not saying that love is not beautiful. Love is beautiful.
Be a gold digger. Be a gold digger. I want to make sure y'all heard that. They're telling women what to do, and then they fought us like we're in the wrong. Y'all hear this shit with y'all own ears. Y'all see it with y'all eyes. They're telling women to be gold diggers and make sure you get something out of the deal.
Beautiful love is amazing, but love is not enough. You need much more than love. You need stability. You need someone that can make your life easier. You need it. Even if you don't need it.
How y'all gonna make our life easier? Y'all not. We gotta make y'all life easier, but y'all can't make our life easier, women like this, by cooking and cleaning. Because we work out in the field all day. We gotta make their life, think about it, fellas. They gotta think about a man that can make their life easier. But if we ask them to make our life easier, we're enslaving them.
Children need it.
If I were to get married to a man, I would only be marrying a man who is putting land, properties, and assets in my name.
With a wig and teeth like that, good luck, my friend.
Of sorry, what's funny? You know what? That's interesting that we're laughing about that because it sounds ridiculous, right? The idea that a woman would want security when we know that men are unreliable. Not only are they unreliable, they
Men
are.
are unreliable. We got to be out here slaving in warehouses, working in the field, building up the roadways, building buildings. We're unreliable. We're building up the fucking world, and we're unreliable.
They just be talking to hear themselves talk. If you see a woman with a tattoo on her chest and a nose ring, just don't be in the same room with her no matter what. That's my advice.
Legalize slavery.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Say more, because if I'm thinking about slavery and I'm thinking about marriage, there are two different images that come into my
Absolutely
head.
not. I don't know how you don't. A man is, especially if he's expecting you to be a trad wife, he might as well pull out a whip and a chain.
Wow. So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't
get married.
No.
Okay.
Leslie Jones has been trending the last couple weeks, and we're in a very, very strange spot to me when it comes to, it seems like more and more women are no longer seeing the values or benefits of marriage, long-term commitment, maybe even a nuclear family. We could do popcorn style, but I'm going to start it off with Miss Anita. What do you think is actually going on, and is this true that a lot of women are starting to think like Leslie?
I think it's a misery loves company. You know, I've already spoken on this quite a bit on my own platform. A sour grapes, misery loves company. That's it in brief. And, you know, she's not alone. There are a lot of other women out here who are voicing something similar. I think this is kind of a offshoot of, you know, women being able to make their own money and being relatively financially independent. And so that's where a lot of this talk is coming from, that if I don't need a man financially and, you know, he's not perfect or everything I need him to be, I guess, emotionally, then I don't need him. So.
Yeah, y'all never liked us. We were just a means to an end for you. And that's a tough pill for a lot of men to swallow. Pause. But I've accepted it. I'm at peace with it. They don't really love us. It's cool. And let me say this. Look, a decent woman can be cool to have in your life as long as she playing her position. So, hey, maybe love shouldn't have nothing to do with it, because once you stop playing your position, I'm gone. Or you should be gone.
It is sad, but yeah, a lot of women are thinking that way.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Miss Maggie?
I agree with Anita. It's sad. It's heartbreaking, but I listened to what was said and I also noticed what was not said. I do agree that this is a woman that is crying out. She absolutely wants a genuine relationship, but for whatever reasons and how she's presented herself, she does not have that. And if you play the video back, if you notice when she is pondering on this question about marriage, she looks down, which is, and I'm not a doctor, you are, but you know, that's kind of like, I'm thinking, I'm kind of almost remembering something that's personal. And she has a sadness about her when she's like, no, I think marriage is legalized slavery if you have a man who wants you to do this. And then when the host asked her if somebody who is watching was interested in marriage, what would you tell them? And she says, don't do it. Watch how she smiles. Look at how she says, yes. It's almost an unspoken, I'm hurting and you need to be too. And
that picture is diabolical, bro. That look, that picture is diabolical. But you know what's crazy? She has had options. It don't matter what a woman look like. She has had options. She's dated. I mean, she's talked about it. She dated. Even on that one video where she was like, I am the table and all that. Like she was talking about, dating experiences that she's had with men. She had options, but she blew them by being masculine and just not being a good woman. But I just want you to keep that in mind, no matter how crazy this picture look right here. And I think this might be AI. But even women who look like this, and I'm not being mean, I'm just, look, she's universally accepted as not being conventionally attractive. I'm not being mean. But even women who look like this have more options in their inbox. Genuine options. I'm not talking about dudes just looking to use her for money or use her for her name or fame or whatever. She has more genuine options in her inbox than most men will ever have. And she still blew it. And that's why loser women are more pathetic than loser men when it comes to dating and romance.
Watch how she smiles. Look at how she says, yes. It's almost an unspoken, I'm hurting and you need to be too. And that's what I see when I watch that. And I think it's devastating because you all know I have a heart. We all have a heart for the community, especially younger women. And I think there's a lot of damage that older women can do if they're.
Now, if you notice, I mean, shout out to, I think her name is Maggie or something. Anita's disposition is a lot more feminine on these panels. So this is her feminine side we seeing, y'all, of Anita. But is this just the act she's putting on? Or is this the real Anita? And the Anita we usually see when she in her car is the act? Y'all tell me. Is this the real her on this panel? Or is this the real her? Hold on. I'm gonna find it. I gotta find it. Hold on. Forgot what the name of it is. I'm gonna find it though. What's the name of her meme? Here we go. Found it.
I need a man. I need somebody to come in and split these bills, however we gonna split them, 70-30, 60-40, 50, whatever. Okay? I need these bills taken off of me. All right? I'm willing to pay some of it, but paying all of it is breaking me. Okay?
Which one do y'all think is the real Anita?
They're not careful with the message that we give.
What you said, Ms. Maggie, in terms of you don't really believe her. I think that this is often the conclusion that they arrive at after a lot of failed experiences, failed opportunities, failed situationships, relationships, etc. And when they don't end up getting what they tried previously, this is the new mantra. And Ms. Crimson, what you think?
You know, I've spoken at length about Miss Leslie a couple of times because not only this last time that she's gone viral, but before when she was on the Kelly Clarkson show. And she was talking about, well, why wouldn't a man want a woman like me? Okay, so I agree with the other two ladies on the panel when they talk about this is something that she does want. Her talking about marriage is a legal type of slavery is projection. She has failed at being or becoming a wife. And she has used, as well as a lot of other women, crutches to blame about why they have not succeeded in having these
See, here's my thing about shout out to Crimson Cure. Prominent voice in the space, salute for what she does. But like with Anita, I like her message, but it throws me off that Anita and Crimson Cure are both masculine in their demeanor. So it just kind of, I like the words, but the demeanor throws me off. Crimson Cure come off as masculine as hell, despite the message.
Feeling relationships, marriages, etc., with men. Okay, it's a lot of cope happening on these internet streets. They have not done the internal work necessary to become a wife. You only need one man. Billions of men walking the earth. Don't nobody want you? That's a lie, including in Leslie's case. Because while she may not be the most attractive woman, you only need one. I done seen women worse than her with a man that don't play about them.
Starting it off right.
Facts. That's what I just said. I literally, I mean, they hitting on it. I just said that. Worse than Leslie Jones is diabolical. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, y'all. I'm just saying, come on. Worse than Leslie Jones is like, look, I don't look. I can honestly say we know that people discriminate against overweight people and unattractive people. I can honestly say I'm not playing saint. Like I say, I don't treat people bad that are unattractive. I would be friends with somebody who looks like Leslie Jones, but she can't act like Leslie Jones.
Go ahead.
So yeah, the only woman on this panel who actually seemed like she lived the stuff she talk about is Maggie, the one at the bottom right. She actually comes across as feminine. Yeah, Leslie Jones is holding out for a tall, fine dude with money who match her income, and that's not gonna happen. She can get a man, but yeah, as far as getting some tall, fine, rich dude, that ain't happening, Leslie. And you a damn fool for thinking it was possible.
Women worse than her with a man that don't play about them.
Starting it off right. Go ahead.
You only need one. And she has utilized her ugly girl complex as a crutch. She has utilized all of these things that she internalized, that she did not work on, that she did not clear up, that she did not focus on making better within herself. She don't like herself. She don't really love herself. And so you can't make a man love you if you don't love you. Men see that lack of confidence, and they see that, you know, woe is me, I'm a victim mindset. And then on top of that mindset, she's got the feminist hyena mindset going. You know, well, I'm a boss and I was able to make my own way and I was able to get my own money. So I don't need you for that. Okay, so now be nice then. Be nice then. She not even nice. Talking about she know how to fight, and why wouldn't a man want her? Why would a man want a woman that her claim to fame is knowing how to fight? He don't want to fight you.
Come on now, because
that picture right there is just, oh man, goodness. Just smile, just smile. A part of me I have grace and compassion for Leslie Jones. She's probably been called black and ugly her whole life. And I have compassion for her. I just wish, can you just, it's okay, Leslie. Everybody can't be attractive. It's cool. Yeah, but like Crimson said, can you just be nice? You got to get a world something to work with. See, but it is hard to have compassion and grace for people who just come across mean-spirited. Because you have control over that. You don't have control how you look to some extent. I can even give you some pass on if you was fat. Some people got a problem. They got eating disorders. Or even if you don't got an eating disorder, you got emotional issues. Okay, fine. But can you at least be nice? They can't even do that. Like,
confused at why the ladies keep throwing, and this is actually a great thing to me, this ongoing confusion about what is it that men want, are drawn to, and even attracted to. And a part of me wonders if it's even confusion but to be fair, like Ari Lennox is a great example where she recently came out and was talking about how she has all these accolades and she's, rich and has all these great attributes, but it hasn't been translating when it comes to actual men, like actually finding that an appealing component to her. Miss Anita, what do you think is going on in terms of this confusion when it comes to what is it that men want and are valuing that women are confusing or messing up and wasting I guess a decent chunk of their time while doing this?
Women have become the men that they seek. And, the feminist dogma has taught them this. They've become the men that they seek. And so truly healthy masculine men don't want to be with another man. And it's a really hard pill for a lot of modern women to swallow. That
Just was thinking about it, like, I wonder what percentage of women could be with a broke man. I mean, okay, the fact that women won't be with a broke man no matter what, it's just a testament to their poor character. I don't think money, I mean, I get it, protector, provider, yada, 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 yada. But what about just loving somebody as a human? Like, I just don't respect it, man. I just don't respect it. Not being able to date a man because he don't make a certain amount of money is sick. I'm not saying, I mean, if he's willing to work and try and at least work his way up to like 40, 50K, why is that? That should be good enough. I'm sorry. That is good enough. Damn it. It is good enough.
at what you have, what you own, your successes, that's wonderful for you. And I always tell people, hey, if that makes you feel good about yourself, go out there and accomplish those things. But to think that it's going to translate into attracting more men, that you just don't understand male nature. And that's a lot of women. A lot of women do not understand male nature.
They never had to. It's all about them in their mind since they were 14, younger than that. Men jump through hoops to get my affection. Why should I have to learn them intimately? Think about that for a second. From the moment a little girl starts liking boys, it's been all about what can this boy do for me to get me to like him. Why in that dynamic, why would she need to understand him? Like, I totally get why women don't understand men. I totally get it.
Convinced us that getting huge and putting on muscle would attract women?
Men did that.
The idea is pretty simple. Work out, build muscle, and get girls. Basically, getting fit can transform you from this guy into this guy. So where does this idea come from?
Other men convinced you of that.
Of course, that's not really true. She's only saying that because feminists hate their fathers and they want men to fail, and then they end up alone and they can't figure out why. Modern women will try to tell you that they don't like strength, and it's always a lie. This one's trying to tell you that working out to build muscle is gay because women don't like it and men do, and that's not what's happening here. What's actually going on here is the more that a man likes something, the more that he'll say it. This is a speech bubble up here. And the more that a woman likes something, the more she hopes that you'll figure it out. This is a thought bubble down here for the more secret category. In other words, women do like strong men, but a lot of them lie about it, especially feminists because they hate you. And
That lady looks like a P-star I know. Wait, hold on. I think I've seen her in a
it
video
looks
or
like
two.
this. It's
Never mind.
the same every time. What do you want? Don't work out. Here you go. Ew. The studies on this are very conclusive. This one says estimates of physical strength determined over 70% of men's bodily attractiveness. And contrary to popular theories, in other words, feminist noises, the strongest men were always the most attractive. And the working theory is that women prefer this because it shows that you can fight. Remember, bad boy stuff is what they find attractive, even if they don't admit it. Here's another study. The preference gets even stronger when the relationship is short-term, which means that's what they want for their children. What else are short-term relationships even for? Long-term relationships are for resources, for supportiveness of various kinds. Short-term are for DNA. So women desire supportiveness emotionally, that's the part they say out loud, speech bubble, and they desire strength sexually of various kinds, including physical. The only exception is if you're a ridiculous huge bodybuilder with a 6-pack or a 12-pack, but that's not because you became too strong, it's because you became a muscle princess, which is gay. Most women are not looking for this. They're looking for something more like this or even this. Clearly fit, but not overdoing it. Most women will probably actually tell you that they prefer this guy because this one looks like he spends all his time taking selfies at the gym, and this one looks like he gets things.
Yeah, he looks like he gets things done. So when women, oh, I just want to be very clear. When women say they want a dad bod, they're talking about the right. They're talking about the guy on the right. I just want to be very clear about that. They're not talking about Homer Simpson, I assure you. Get down.
Things done. So even this guy might be a little too close to muscle princess. But you don't have to worry about becoming one by accident. Once again, this is me at my second peak of physical fitness. I had one when I was 25 and another when I was 32. I put in a lot of work to achieve this, and I promise it helped a lot with women. I did not make it into the muscle princess category. I did not need to have a 6-pack. Do you see how my 6-pack is kinda sorta peeking through here in these shadows, but there's just a little too much dough? This body was very popular with women. So you don't have to be perfect, and you also don't have to worry about going overboard. It's just stronger is better. It's real simple. So unless you're dedicating your life to the gym, the more you build muscle and the less you store fat, the more that women will like you in general. I could have done better here, but it was good enough. Speaking of doing better, this video is sponsored by ODGG Supply, who has everything you need for when the government decides that your house is now reparations for Somalians. Get gear for marching, camping, night vision, and more, all tested by these totally non-militia. They just love nature, okay? Lifting is enough for the club, but not for global Rhodesia, so check out odggsupply.com and get some stuff to build the skills you're probably gonna need soon. Use code HOMATH12 for 12% off almost everything. Getting fit is good enough for the good times, and these were the most fit times of my life, and they were some of the best times of my life. These other ones were good for different reasons. And those results match perfectly with the research. So don't let feminists tell you that women don't want strong men. But if that's true, what's this guy talking about?
I post my physique, 47 responses, 47 DMs. Guess who they were? Men! Only men!
Okay, when you say it that way, it sounds gay. But that's not what's happening. In the social sciences, they call this a failure of cross-sex mind reading. You might know it better as being a f***ing retard. And both of them are doing it. Let's go back to Zones version 2. Again, men talk out loud about the women they like and the things they like about women, speech bubble, and as we like women less and less, we're less willing to talk about them even if we do hang out sometimes. Thought bubble, lower on the chart, is more secret. So a failure of cross-sex mind reading means that if you're a man, you think women are going to act like men and say the things they like out loud, and if you're a woman, you think men are going to act like women and focus on their looks, mostly to mog other men instead of to attract the opposite sex. I mean, just listen to how just listen to how bad of a failure of cross-sex mind reading it is when this girl hears this guy say he's working out for girls and then tells him, no, you're doing it for guys.
A while back, I made a video where I said that men think that women do everything for male attention because men do everything for male attention.
I post my physique, 47 responses, 47 DMs. Guess who they were? Men! Only men!
It didn't seem like he wanted the male attention. You see what I'm getting at? I'm not sure how you got that from his reaction. He says what he wants, and she doesn't believe him because she doesn't say what she wants. This is because women say things out loud that make them look good, presentable, and men say things out loud that they actually want. And the things women actually want, the things that make them feel desire, they keep quiet about that so they don't look bad.
Okay, I'm bored. Let's move on. See if we can finish this up. I mean, we're kicking it. We're just kicking it. If anybody appreciates the content, please send in a donation. You know, if you find it in your heart. Let me see what we looking like on Rumble. Oh, we got 5 people on Rumble. That's what's up. Shout out to the Rumbleites. Glad no, don't touch that. Glad you're here. What are you grabbing? Oh. All right. Let's go over some more of this. I wanted to go over this, but maybe I'll wait.
So it's the exact same mechanism, but only one is viewed as correct and the other is viewed as barbaric. You're a caveman, you're a knuckle dragger. Why can't you just control your impulses? And this is why a lot of men are seemingly feel like they're not being heard or feel like that everything that they do is being demonized. So that's the thing. Women cannot sleep around and still maintain a good, happy household. Really quick, women cannot go sleep with a bunch of guys and still come home and be 100% wholly in love, head over heels with her husband. When a woman is in love with a man, every other man on the planet disappears. Versus a man, he can absolutely do that and impede, no bones about it.
I was just gonna say, I hear a lot of narratives like what you're just saying. Somehow, in my 36 years of life, I have never met a man who, in reality, his life like showed that. Maybe I'm choosing the men I dated.
The men you're dating right now are sleeping around with other women. So it's already happening. You're not married to these men.
The women you're dating are sleeping with 20,000 men.
Not
the
necessarily.
Women you're dating are sleeping around. They are. I have as much conviction in my statement as you have in yours.
Yeah, but one's correct and one isn't.
Your opinion is nice, but so is mine. You know, like both.
No, this isn't an opinion. This is based on fact. This is Evo's site. This is how men have always gone through
that. So that's why.
Okay,
so for the record,
no, but this is how men have always operated.
Is that what's going on? All the men are cheat. They're running around.
Apparently.
No, actually, they're not. Only the men, because most men can't. The only men that can even exercise these options are the very, very, very small percentage of men that most women want to date and go after in the first place. So most of you women are inadvertently why do you think there's all of these "are we dating the same guy" Facebook groups? Where do you think that comes from? Because all of you single women are because all of you women are sharing the same men.
Men would not have those groups because they're too scared to know. Like you right now.
Men tried to have them and they got
I don't think that's the reason.
That
would be shut down in a heartbeat. It would be sexist. It would be misogynistic. It would be anti-women's empowerment and freedom. It's a woman's body. It's her choice. It's no one else's business what she does. I don't see any ring on this, et cetera, et cetera.
Look, I don't know.
Fair enough.
All I know is I know some women that are straight up like detectives. I mean, they will.
And they love it. Look at how much you're smiling at. Look how happy all this is making them. Like this is just these panels are just for entertainment because women aren't ever gonna change.
Sniff out anything like before it happened. they know it's about to happen.
Yeah, women are so good at detecting men's narcissism, and guys are sleeping around, that they're constantly dating really good stand-up guys, and they're never getting screwed over, and women are never getting cheated on. They're so good at sniffing this stuff out that they're amazing. They're
Aren't
like Batman.
statistics on cheating is basically, I thought the trend has been that women started to cheat more and more, and now they're like the cheating percentages are the same for men and women. Isn't that true?
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
I think that's what like.
I don't think that's true. I think
say.
that there's been a big increase in female infidelity over the years, but I think men still cheat more. What we do know from the research, to Moff's point, is that there are significant differences in why married men and married women cheat. And the main difference is relationship satisfaction.
Queen of the Stream has come through again and donated $5. Everybody thank Lauren for donating. If anybody want to follow in her footsteps. But Lauren, this is for you. Always holding the channel down. You're greatly appreciated. And that's why you're the queen of the stream.
Say they get money, but I can't tell, ho. Yeah, glow. You can fuck with me if you wanted to. 100 motherfuckers can't tell me nothing. Hey, bitch, I'm a problem. Nobody solving. You can keep hating, I'm popping regardless. Bro, could see this since first grade. I been that bitch. You got a girl, but it's cool. I ain't gonna tell her shit.
You know niggas love bitches with money. You know niggas love bitches with money. You know niggas love bitches with money.
You ain't never fuck with no boss, bitch. I turned you out. When a real one hold you down, babe, you supposed to drink.
Stone sets, I got my own baguettes.
Jealousy, let it go. Results could be tragic. I push the beat, not the backseat girl. I push the beat, not the backseat girl.
When you compare relationship satisfaction between men who cheat and men who don't, there is no statistical difference. The men who cheat are just as happy or unhappy with their relationships as the men who don't. However, when it comes to women cheating, there is a significant difference in relationship satisfaction. The women who are dissatisfied with their relationships cheat. The women who aren't don't. Like, as a rule. Is there exceptions to everything? Yes, because we're talking about statistics on the population level. And I think this is also the reason there's different behaviors in cheating. I don't know. I've counseled many thousands of men privately. Many of them are having affairs. But I think every single one of them has said, I would never leave my wife. They have no intention of ever leaving their family for this new relationship. Whereas many women who do cheat, it starts as an emotional affair, usually with someone that they know, and they start to build a stronger connection with that man emotionally than with their husband. And they hope and try to use the affair, if they pull the trigger, to launch into a new relationship with that man. We don't see that kind of behavior in male cheating. So men and women cheat for different reasons and because they have different goals. So yes, the amount of female cheating is on the up and up. And frankly, that's because women have access to more of their own resources. There's an excellent play about this called The Doll's House. Have you heard this play, Olya?
I have, but years ago, so I forgot what.
Yeah, it was written in the late 19th century by a Norwegian guy named Henrik Ibsen. And it was like, it totally melted people's brains back in the day. And it's a little domestic drama about bourgeois Norwegian family life. And the man starts out and he's a professional guy. He makes good money. He's got a wife and 2 kids, but he kind of runs his household like a little petty tyrant from time to time. He kind of bosses the wife around and he has a mistress on the side. And the protagonist is the wife. And she eventually gets sick of the situation. And so she decides that she's going to start her own side hustle. And this is in a day when no women worked or had a business. I forget what the side hustle was. But of course, the husband and all of his friends are like, women, you can't do that. You're going to fail. You don't know what you're doing. You're an idiot, kind of a thing. But the wife sticks with it. And she starts to make her own money. And by the end of the play, once she has a kitty, she has her account of her own money that's not his. The last act of the play is she goes off to meet her lover. So the issue is, in most relationships between men and women, whether we're aware of it or not, men are exchanging their resources, broadly defined, for a woman's sexual opportunity and sexual commitment. The issue is that in most modern monogamous relationships is the woman still remains the man's monopolized sex dealer. That man is only supposed to get sex from that woman.
Hey, let me ask y'all something. Is it fair to say that women who are the primary breadwinner in the household with men and okay, let me be clear. Is it fair to say that marriages where the woman was always going to be the breadwinner, like it was never in the cards that he was ever going to be the breadwinner? Like when they met, she was in school to be a physician and he was a UPS driver and it was always in the plans that she was going to be a physician and he was going to be a UPS driver. Is it fair to say that those relationships, the women actually love the men more than relationships where men are the breadwinner? Or even going 50-50? Like in relationships where the husband can only afford 20% of the bills, but they've been together for 15, 20 years? Is that an indicator that that woman really loved that man? If she never cheated on him and always made more than him the whole relationship? Is that a testament to her superior moral character compared to other women? I think it is.
Is in most relationships between men and women, whether we're aware of it or not, men are exchanging their resources, broadly defined, for a woman's sexual opportunity and sexual commitment. The issue is that in most modern monogamous relationships, is the woman still remains the man's monopolized sex dealer. That man is only supposed to get sex from that woman. And the woman would say, well, same thing for me, but they're trading different goods. Now, but the woman is not monogamous. The man is no longer the woman's monopolized money dealer. She now has her own money, which is comparable to a guy having his own side piece, because that's basically what they're trying to trade in the primary relationship anyway.
Essentially, yeah. But see, that's why I would never, I'm never, 50-50 or nothing. Yeah, 50-50 or nothing. And if I was rich, I just wouldn't have I would just have a couple of live out girlfriends that know about each other. Yeah.
And we all know how this story ends. Like when a woman says, I don't need a man, what always follows that statement? It's never like, I don't need a man because I have so many good people in my life and I'm so fulfilled and full of love that I just don't have space for another person. It's never, I don't need a man because I already have such satisfying sexual relationships. It's like, I don't need a man because I don't feel like I need to give and to provide. I don't need a man because I can pay my own bills. I don't need a man because I have my own money. And we see this over and over again in the empirical literatures that when you give men more money, they want to share. They want to start a family. When you give women more money, they think, why do I need a man? And unfortunately.
So Dr. O, can we conclude that women aren't good people from that? Is that fair, Dr. Taraban? Or is that a line too far?
For better or for worse, you need a man to start that family, which is kind of what keeps society and civilization from falling apart.
X just donated $10 to keep us on for 2 hours, but I'll stay at least 2.5. I appreciate you guys. I don't even know how long we've been on. I appreciate you guys. How long we've been on? We've been on 1 hour and 37 minutes. I'll stay on till at least 2 hours and 30 minutes. Appreciate it. Let's see if we can finish this one out. Unless it gets too boring.
So for every 5% permanent increase in income you give a woman, she is 4% less likely from baseline to have a child. By the same token, every 5% permanent increase in income you give to a man, he's 1% more likely to have a child. If we give men more money, there will be more babies. And this is also because women are generally hypergamous. They want a man who will make their situation better. They don't dream of paying a man's bills and taking care of him while she goes off to work. And so as she makes more money, there's a smaller and smaller pool of men that even possibly consider for those types of relationships. And those men are now awash in female optionality.
I mean, no woman really wants to do it. I mean, I would damn near say, everybody shout out X. X, let me know if you want the compilation. But, fuck was I about to say? No woman wants to do it. There are women, let's look up that stat again. I know some of my viewers, one of my viewers got mad at me because I looked up that stat and it said that a certain percentage of women actually are the breadwinners in the house with their husband. And they got mad. They're like, oh, you know that isn't true, RB, just because you Googled it and this and that. I think that was a matter of somebody being butthurt that one of the stats went against our red pill narrative. I don't have a problem with one of my red pill narratives being proven wrong and me changing my position, because I care about the truth more than I care about pushing red pill narratives. So let's see what I can find.
Which is basically what men dream of, the vast majority of them. So until they get out of their Dan Blazarian phase, they have the run of the hen house, and they're not going to commit to any one woman unless they do this polygamy thing, you know? And the women are like, why can't I land a good man? I don't understand. I'm ready. I have a lot to offer.
I just wanted to.
We're all going extinct.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, it says, according to studies, 14.3% of women pay all the household bills with their partners, though women are 12% more likely to manage the process of paying bills, regardless of if they pay them or not. So anyway, hold on, let me see. Now I was saying 6%. Hold on. Let me hold on. Pay all the household bills with their partners. Hold on. What percentage of wives are the sole financial providers? Okay, 6%. So shout out to that 6%. It was at 14, but then I had to dig deeper, and it's 6. So that sounds more right, of course. But shout out to that 6%. Let me check one more thing. What percentage of wives pay more bills than their men? Okay, so 16%. It's saying 16% of U.S. wives are the primary or sole breadwinner in their marriage. So shout out to that 16%. A figure that has tripled over the last 50 years. So yeah, shout out to those 16%. I'm just y'all some real ones. Okay, what percentage of that 16% where they pay more bills than their husband? What percentage of those women actually respect their husbands? Which, look, they all of them, pretty much all of them are gonna find a reason to not respect their husband no more. So even the ones who pay all the bills and didn't start disrespecting their husband for that reason, they'll find another reason. But you know what? Let me say something positive. Shout out to them 16% of women. Salute.
And those men are now awash in female optionality, which is basically what men dream of, the vast majority of them. So until they get out of their Dan Blazarian phase, they have the run of the hen house, and they're not going to commit to any one woman unless they do this polygamy thing, you know? And the women are like, why can't I land a good man? I don't understand. I'm ready. I have a lot to offer.
I just wanted to.
We're all going extinct. What?
Before we end this, I just wanted to, for our listeners, because I've been thinking about this polygamy stuff, and I've been thinking about what I think about it, and nobody's saying this, so I'm going to say it. I don't really see other media people say this. Like, Greek and Romans introduced the concept of monogamy, and as a result, those cultures have been not as a result, in causation correlation question mark, but those cultures have have had great amounts of success. And now when people like Andrew Tate, who to me has these like Islamic flavors and like quite culturally not I'm only saying this because I grew up in Eastern Europe, so I just really have this Eastern like European kind of mindset. So when people come in and have these these views that polygamy is somehow this higher way of being, to me just means like, okay, you're taking advice from the Middle East, from Latin America, not from like the Greek and Romans who introduced this other way, and 2,000, 3,000, I think it's 2,000 years ago, and have had a lot of success. So it makes me kind of wonder about them.
The problem with that, Olya, is you're being selective. So that is true. According to the ethnologists, about 94% of every human society that has existed has been polygamous, because there's been a lot of tribes in Papua New Guinea and Amazon and in the Serengeti, et cetera, et cetera. However, the most successful civilizations have been monogamous, like the Romans and the Greek, to your point. You know what else they had? No women in power. No women owning private property. It was a patriarchy.
Yes, but have you ever read Marcus Aurelius and how he's talked about his wife? Like, they've also didn't have this, like, I'm the CEO, you do what I say. Like, have you, no, like in Meditations and, just
I know
Marcus
that Cato,
Aurelius
I've read
and how
Meditations many times, and I know that he had good success for his wife, but I don't think that he took
he's
over.
had a lot of respect for his wife and children and, like,
But
women.
she wasn't his
One
boss.
thing. Respect for is one thing. Consideration, I think, is what I think Marcus Aurelius showed his wife, as opposed to respect in a martial, masculine way. And Cato the Elder, as I'm sure you remember, said that as soon as a society makes women the equal of men, they've promoted her above him. Like it's not something that is sustainable. You can't
There's
have
a lot
the
of
because it's
instances of
men who
Greek and
enforce the
Roman
monogamy.
cultures.
In a dysregulated sexual marketplace, no one is telling women to all date the same men. That's what they naturally do. It's the patriarchy that it's like sexual socialism. It makes sure that there's only one woman for one man. And you need men to do that because the women don't do it themselves.
Can I just go back? There's a lot of instances in Greek and Roman literature and history books and everything where men, great men, have gone to.
I kind of said that before. Like, when women are empowered, they're all going to date the same 0.5. I mean, okay, when women are empowered, they're all going to go suck the top 10% men's dick and try to be with him because he got the money, look, status, and height. It's just in their nature. I'm not mad at them for it. That's why they should be controlled by men. They were never meant to be in control of their own lives or be in power. God didn't even intend it. God didn't, and fucking evolution and biology didn't. They were never meant to have any type of power and control over their own lives. And the evidence is there, but many people just can't say that, won't say that, or they just don't like how I make them feel to think that or say that, even though all the evidence is pointing to. Well, look, I'm not even going by evidence, but look, y'all know it's true. I don't need a peer-reviewed study.
Women for advice. And I think that this kind of, and I'm not saying women should be the CEOs. I'm saying the attitude of like, I make all decisions and I know everything sounds like somebody who's not as, like intelligent people consider a lot of different opinions. And if you have a dumb woman around you that you can't ask her for an opinion,
this is a straw man argument
about
Olya.
you.
You're really using categorical language and making a very extreme example as a counter argument, to be honest.
I'm saying if you can't ask a woman for advice, that like, what kind of women are you talking to?
Most women are idiots. I mean, I'm not even saying that as an insult, but what do you mean? She's trying to make this argument that most women are so intelligent. So are you digging in the garbage can to find these women who aren't worth consulting? Like, let me paint something for y'all. You don't think if women were coming up with all these brilliant ideas and feeding them to their men, that one of the men wouldn't just, or just society as a whole wouldn't have come together? Like, you guys do realize our wives are feeding us all these brilliant ideas. Maybe we should just let them run something. Like, if women were so smart, like, they would have rose to power. They already got power over men using sexuality and manipulation. And so if they were actually intelligent to match their powers of sexuality, they would run the world. But they don't, because they're not what they say they are.
My question. If
I don't think that was said, right? Like, the idea is that the ultimate authority lies in with the man. The ultimate decision is with the man. If he wants to go to his woman for consideration or elevates her as a trusted advisor, that's all fine, well, and good. But there's no 50-50 split decision making. He is going to make the decision based on all of the available data and all of the available opinions that he trusts. And there you go. So I don't know if we're saying that men need to be dictators and rule their households with an iron fist, because I do think there are things that women do better than men and that men do better than women. For example, things like picking up on social cues, being very, women are far more covert with their communication, and they're a little bit better in general picking up on unspoken and nonverbal communication, things that a lot of guys have not evolved to pick up, because it's like, somebody wants to disrespect, we'll just fight. But for women, right, you're at threat of being killed or beat up or whatever it might be. So it behooves you to understand threats before they happen or before things turn violent. And
and see, but this is, I want to touch on this. I'm glad he said that. We live in a time now where women aren't scared of men at all. So they don't give a fuck about picking up on a man's cues that he might be about to slap the shit out of her. Because women just feel that comfortable in America where, look, nigga, you ain't gonna do shit. I'm gonna punk you. I'm gonna hit you in the head with something. I'm gonna call you a bitch. I'm gonna kick you in the nuts. I'm gonna say I fucked your best friend. Because I have no fear of you, what you're gonna do to me whatsoever. And that's not a good thing. Now, that might be a controversial statement, but women not being afraid of men in a society is not good. It isn't when I think about it. I mean, yeah, I'm sure at one point women did have to consider they did. In the caveman days, a woman had to watch her fucking mouth with a man because he would just fucking okay, I'm being hyperbolic, but hit her over the head with a fucking a stick like the Flintstones stick, the Flintstones bat. Yo, to the moon and back, Alice, or whatever, the honeymooners. Why I oughta Alice, or what did he used to say, Alice? I ought to just punch her right in the kisser. That show would never exist today. But yeah, like back in those days, a woman had to. I mean, you look, the cave women probably was talking a little shit too, but like they was probably talking a little shit too. But back then, like a woman knew, like, okay, I'm gonna cut it out now. This motherfucker getting mad, like you might pop me. Let me be quiet. But women aren't like that anymore. I don't sense that women are walking on eggshells when talking to men in modern society at all. Because men are completely emasculated and don't got the nuts to smack a bitch, frankly. I mean, I don't want to smack a bitch. I mean, I'm not saying violence is a positive, but actually I will say this. Well, let me not say that. The V word has some pros too. It's like most things in life. It has pros and cons. I mean, overall, would I say the V word is good and preferred? No. But it has its positive sides to it. I'm not going to lie.
Understanding covert operations and things like that.
Said he was going to punch that bitch to the moon. That's hilarious.
That being said, when you're talking about, and like we got some great comments from people in the chat, these Greek and Roman societies didn't let women vote, and they didn't put women in positions of power, and they certainly, Marcus Aurelius certainly didn't take orders from his wife. So
I
if
guess
we want to get back to that, then we can certainly go back to that. But I mean, I think we're far past the point of no return.
Yeah, I was just actually in your language, I was hearing like women have to be fully submissive or something like that. And I think sometimes when people when other girls hear this stuff, they'll think like, which is what I thought, I can't have an opinion. He's going to decide everything. It's nice to hear that,
I still expect full submission though. Yes. Like there's like what I decide is the decision. And then I expect the woman that I'm with to back me on that decision 100%.
So do you want correct decisions in your life or your decisions in your life?
My decisions are correct.
Oh my gosh. She has, I mean, I see why she hasn't had success with men. So this is what you don't get, bitch. In the male world, in the male world, if shit isn't correct, everything goes to shit. In the man world, we have to be correct. There's not much room for error in the man world. Like, oh gosh. If you had all the answers, bitch, y'all would run society like I just said.
As far as I'm
that's a false
concerned.
dichotomy there. I will step in here. I think one way to think about leadership, we can learn from the military. And one of the first rules about being an officer is to never give a command that can't be obeyed. The second rule is never give a command that won't be obeyed. So it's like a good commander doesn't pull rank, and a good commander doesn't whip those beneath him into submission. A good commander knows when to push and when to rest, when to praise and when to punish. And on some level, submission is necessary if there is difference in status and authority and knowledge. Like you submit to a doctor because he might know better about your treatment than you do. You submit to a martial arts teacher because his technique is superior to yours. If you start making decisions very early on in the process that I want to do this, but not that, you're not in a position of mastery and experience to judge. And since most women want to be with men who are more experienced, who are older, who are more skillful, who are successful in life, why shouldn't they consider his perspective?
Listen,
maybe sometimes the man does know better. Maybe sometimes his orders are correct.
I thought you guys are saying 100% zero. I'm saying it's not 100. Could it be 70-30? Like there's aspects of life that I.
No, bitch, you ain't running shit. I'll consider. I mean, I'll hear you out, and if you got a good idea, I'll take it. I'll hear you out. But no, I'm the final decision maker. Fucking period, man. Just go run your own fucking life, then. You can make all the decisions by yourself.
Understand better than him, and he can. I would love for a smart guy to decide better than me in like 95% of our life.
Exactly.
If you can prove that you're smart, like do it. Especially if you.
Women say this, and then when I ask them where they want to go eat, they say, "I don't care, I don't know." Women can't even pick what they want for dinner. How are they going to lead a relationship?
We have hormones, but I will say, women don't want to make decisions on anything. Nothing. Like if I'm like, oh, okay, the internet doesn't work right now. Like, oh, he says it doesn't work. I guess it's not work. I don't want to have to go look and.
I mean, think about it. Does your boss consult with you 70% of the time? I mean, it's not, and men don't even want to be a woman's boss per se. That's the crazy thing. Like, women automatically think submission means, rule with the iron fist. I don't get to talk, and that's fucking retarded because nothing that 80% of men has shown women their whole lives would make that make sense. Like, I've talked to my exes. Like, do you think when I want you to submit, I want to rule with iron fist? Yes, I do. I'm like, what have I shown you since you know me that would lead you to believe that I want to rule you with the iron fist like a fucking dictator of a country? And she just sat there and looked stupid because she knows it's bullshit.
Like, make sure and verify. We don't want to do that, actually. The reason that Olia is saying, well, like, what about the percentage and everything else is because, like, there's not maybe a lot of people that we can just fully relax with and know that their judgment on average is going to be better than ours. But when you do have that, it's really nice. You can just close your eyes and walk around and it's fine. You're not going to step in a hole. You're not going to get, like, eaten by a bear because they're already looking for the bears.
And by the way,
women chose the bear.
That's stupid. That's a whole stupid.
I'm sure you probably said it top right. Don't say it's stupid now.
The women you guys think all women think that is retarded. no women would choose a bear over a man in the woods. I don't know what kind of women they're asking this question to. I don't know what we're being like told on the internet, but that's ridiculous. Oya, what are you saying?
I was just gonna say that there are, like in the world of finance rewards heavily people who understand the word correctly, right? Doesn't matter if you're a guy or you're a girl. Like in finance, if you have a good idea, if it makes money, like you're right, he's wrong. So I don't like. I'm guessing, and I spend a lot of time there, so I'm having a hard time being like, wait, why were we to argue if somebody's like, if he can decide this better, I can decide this better. Like, let's team up and like, let's make sure we win, and do better than our neighbors. Like,
she just made me think of something. Okay, if we lived in a true patriarchy where women were dominated by men, and I had a channel like this just shitting on how retarded they were, I would be dead wrong for that. The reason why I'm not dead wrong for it is we basically live in a matriarch. I mean, we live in a society that don't give a fuck about men's existence or lives other than to pay for and protect women. But anyway, it made me think of white men and women, but mostly I hate to pick on white people because it's not just white people, but I do perceive it as being mostly white people who are absolutely obsessed with hating the niggers, right? And it's like, to the white men who are so obsessed with the niggers, isn't that, I mean, since you're so superior, isn't that kind of just picking on low-hanging fruit? Shouldn't that be considered beneath you to shit on the niggers who are already at the bottom? I mean, that's another angle of why these races don't fucking deserve respect. I mean, you claim to be so superior, and you're picking on the retarded, dumb monkey niggers, right? Well, wouldn't that be a testament to your poor character that you always talking bad about the niggers? Just a thought. Just a thought.
What's wrong with that?
They want to have the ultimate authority where the man can come and ask you opinions when they want to, but ultimately they decide whatever they want. I do think that that's fair. Like, that is fair because someone has to make the decision. You can't be arguing about the solution the whole time. Oya, would you want that set up? I actually don't know.
I think if I trusted, if I was like, God, this guy's so smart, like he's ahead of me all the time, I'd be like, can you please make all the decisions so I can have extra time reading whatever is interesting to me or doing whatever is more interesting
I was going to say, I don't know about you, but yeah, now I think we speak for all women because Olya's a little bit more on the extreme side and she also feels that way. So none of us want to make decisions.
I don't want to open this can of worms, but I will say what I've seen and what tends to happen is that men who make a bad call, when they make decisions, see, part of being a leader and making decisions means you also have to own the result, especially if you make the bad call. You've got to take accountability and responsibility for that. I messed up. I made a bad call. Now I've got to fix it because I'm the one that created it. That is something that is almost universally unique to men. Women have a very difficult and hard time taking accountability and responsibility for mistakes. And this is not a bug. This is a feature, right? So, if you left the back gate open, hold up, women in general.
Most women, bitch. And you too. Like, let's not play this game.
Right? Talking about women in general here.
Your ex
if you left the gate open and Tiger came in.
See, women struggle with generalities. Well, not when they're bashing men. Because that's how they think. She based her opinion on men about men she dealt with and been around in her life. So she think that's how men think. No, men can look at the bigger picture. Men can look at the macro. Women really struggle at looking at the macro because they can't get out of their own fucking head. They can't overcome their own solipsism or whatever the fuck you call it.
Men and killed all your livestock, and women did. It's like, okay, she's out. Like, she's ostracized. We're going to kill. She made a transgression against the tribe that was so severe that she is gone. She's now cast out. She stands no chance against the predators. She stands no chance on her own. It would behoove her to point and pass the blame onto someone else. But the only reason I forgot to close the gate is because so-and-so wouldn't stop yapping at me and was distracting. So it's really their fault. women's are their self-preservation is the name of the game. And so this is something that is not a dig at women. This is something where I say, hey guys, like when we say don't expect your woman to take accountability for the shit she does, just understand she's not gonna. And this is also why you shouldn't put her in positions of decision making, because if she makes bad calls or does things incorrectly, she's gonna find a way to point the finger back at you. So it's probably in your best interest to make the decisions for the relationship. And it's not even a negative thing. It just is what it is.
I think that's a generalization.
Yeah, dingbat. The world works on generalizations. The world doesn't work on not all. And nobody gives a fuck if it's not all. If it's 80%, we're going to make the rule based on the 80%. Fucking idiot. And that's why you shouldn't make decisions. It's funny. It's ironic because when they try to argue and talk, they prove what the misogynists on the panel are trying to say. It's fucking hilarious.
What's wrong with generalizations?
I don't think that that's every situation.
If I said all women are beautiful and that's a generalization, do you have a problem with that?
Yes, we are all beautiful. Next question.
Yeah, but that's a
I have a problem with
generalization.
that.
So it's a good thing. It's when you agree with it, it's good. But when you disagree with it, it's bad, huh?
I think you're right that it's a lot harder for correct. I have selective hearing. I will admit.
Right on.
I think that women do have a hard.
He shut that bitch the fuck up, didn't he? She didn't have a comeback because they're not bright. This is why they should just shut the fuck up. These are the people that we should consult with for life decisions. No, thank you. No fucking thank you, man. No, thank you. You know, I talk about the construction site, and I was lazy, I'll admit. I was lazy at the construction site. I didn't give a fuck about that job. But I will say, I do believe this, and I could be wrong. They weren't going to respect me no matter what because I was a black man. I don't give a fuck if I was the hardest working motherfucker. I don't care if I was superhuman. I worked so hard, they're like, is this motherfucker human? They wasn't going to respect me because I was black. Fucking period. I don't know. Y'all can tell me if I was wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. See, the thing is, there was a couple people. Okay, I'll tell you about one guy. I'll tell you about one guy. One guy at the construction site. Okay, I'll tell you about. Let me try to think. There were 3 guys at the construction site that I respected. There were 3 guys I respect. Well, I'm trying to think of the 3. Let me write this down so I can try to. Let's see. I'm counting the guys. Okay. Let me not say their names, but I want to talk about 4 guys. There was an old timer guy, and he always spoke. He always went out of his way to speak. Wherever we were, he would go out of his way to speak. So I'm like, and I think the first day he gave me some boots. I didn't have the right boots or whatever, and he went out of his way to give me some boots. I'm like, oh, that was nice, you know. And then he always spoke, so I thought he was a nice guy. And this, I guess, this is a RB sensitive moment. One day we was working and I was doing something, and he screamed at me, like he basically just screamed at me. What are you doing? Do this or something. I mean, just screamed at me. And and hold on, I'm trying to find my phone. Where the hell did my phone go that quick? You see my phone? Where'd it go? Well, anyway, he screamed at me. And I don't want to say I hold a grudge, But I just looked at him different. I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, oh man, I like that guy. I mean, he still spoke when he saw me after he screamed at me. I'm sure he didn't think much of screaming at me. He just got mad and screamed at me. I don't know. So I guess my final word on the old timer that screamed at me. I guess I should still say he was a good guy, right? Everybody has their moments, right? Anyway, that was one guy at the construction site. There was another guy that worked in the yard, we'll call it. He was a young guy. And this actually made me respect him even more because he was younger. I mean, he was young. He couldn't have been older than 25, if that. 23, 24, 25. He worked in the yard. And he was always very respectful to me. Now, granted, this whole construction site was all white men. I was the only black man that worked at the construction site, which I didn't think of when I filled out the application. It didn't hit me until like the day before I started. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm about to be working with a whole bunch of racist old white dudes. What did I get into? Anyway, everybody else was real like faggy and smug and condescending and disrespectful. They didn't deserve respect at all, from my perspective. But anyway, the young kid I'm not gonna call him a kid. He was a young man in the yard. He was always very respectful to me, to the point where it stood out. He was abnormally respectful. Not that he was kissing my ass or anything, but I was impressed with him. He seemed to be somebody who was raised right. So that's somebody I liked at the construction site. The dude who always spoke that screamed at me. I didn't like him after he screamed at me, but I still would count him as some of the people that stood out with some type of character about themselves. Now, okay, let me tell you what he screamed at me about. And maybe it'll make y'all look at him in a better light. We were pulling something. Or no, okay, this is what happened. We were trying to pull something. And I think I was like, I wasn't pulling. I was just trying to like get the pipe out the way or something. I don't know. Something that was stupid maybe. I mean, I was kind of new. But I still thought it was unnecessary to scream at me. I still stand by that. But anyway, maybe it's because I'm not used to how men talk. Men are pretty disrespectful and just men can be pretty. How can I put this? Men don't really care about another man's feelings, you know? It's just part of the male culture, like, you know, scream at a motherfucker, tell a motherfucker what it is with no, sugar on it. We're men. But anyway. So there was another dude that I worked with, and he was more patient than most of the guys, and he seemed like he probably didn't like me either, and I was probably good for nothing at that job. And he recognized it too. We'll call him Alan. So Alan knew I was probably worthless for that job. But he treated me better than most. I'll put it like, he may have not been racist. He was one of the few people who didn't seem racist, and he seemed fairly respectful for the most part. I mean, he probably lost his cool a couple of times, but it wasn't really directed at me so much, other than him just being frustrated in general. But the reason why I respected him, because he seemed like a reasonable man with a good head on his shoulders. You know? And even though he knew I was worthless at that job, because I remember towards the end when I wasn't working there anymore, let me put it like this. I don't know if y'all remember this. I hope some of y'all do. We were listening to the Christian Bale freak out tape. And Christian Bale was like, I am done with you professionally. He was spazzing out on some dude because he did something. He put the lighting on wrong or something. And he just was going on and on about how he was being terrible and unprofessional. And he specified that I am done with you professionally. I mean, I remember I cracked up. Please, somebody in the comments tell me you remember that. Now, the reason why that's important is because I really respect the fact that Christian Bale separated me not fucking with you professionally and me not fucking with you as a human. I love that. Like, that takes character to be able to separate that. That takes emotional intelligence to be able to say, I'm done with you professionally. We can still have a beer outside of work, but I'm just done with you professionally. And that's how I would I would describe Alan at the construction site. He knew I was worthless at that job, but he didn't hold it against me as a human. And I really fucking respect that. Because, see, this is the shit that actually takes character that I be talking about. Like, most men aren't operating on any type of real character. They're operating on ego or this or that or wanting to be the man or anger. They operating on a lot of shit. Very few men on the planet are operating on genuine character first and foremost. And when you come in contact with men who are even a little bit, they stand out a lot. I'll just say that. They stand out a whole lot. And then there's one more guy I want to tell y'all about from the construction site. We'll call him John. I mean, was he justified in screaming at me? I mean, I'll put it like this. There are certain situations where there's an argument to say that somebody would be justified in screaming at another grown-ass man. If it was a situation where I was about to do something dangerous, then I would agree that he should scream at me. I wasn't doing anything dangerous. He just thought it was stupid what I was doing. It wasn't hurting anybody or hurting anything. He just thought it was just pointless. I don't think it was justified, but I forgive him. He was nice to me other than that moment. So you know what? I'll forgive him. I'll give him grace and compassion and still give him the stamp of being a solid dude. Last person I want to tell y'all about from the construction site. We'll call him John. He was somebody who I definitely would put in the category of, I didn't know him like that. Okay. Obviously I didn't know him like that. I had maybe 10 interactions with him my whole life, but he's somebody who came across to me as a genuine good dude. Some people you just meet and you don't got to have a lot of interactions with them to pick up on it, but you're like, this dude seems like a really great guy. I don't know him like that, but I just get that energy and vibe. So he would always go out of his way to help me. If he saw me looking confused, look, and keep in mind, John knew I was good for nothing at that job too, and I wasn't cut out for this. But he went out of his way to be nice to me, help me anytime I looked like I was confused. He went out of his way to say, "Hey, how was your Christmas, man?" Like he just was a great guy from everything that I seen from him. Shout out to John, man. I love those guys. They're rare, but those type of people make a lasting impression on your life. We live in a shithole world with mostly shithole people, and this is that thing where they say, just smile at somebody. You never know, it might cheer up their day, or they might have a everlasting impression on their life by you just doing one little small good deed, smiling and just asking somebody how their day was. You would be shocked at how much of an impact that has on some people's lives. Seriously. They could have been thinking about suicide. I know that sounds like it's extreme, but seriously, your one little kind gesture could be the difference between them killing themselves that night or not. Yeah, shout out to John. Shout out to John. And people like that are really special. But let's get back to it.
Hard time on average taking accountability. Like, I had to grow that as a muscle, because when I was younger, I liked to be a victim. Like, it was my way of just like I had a lot of anxiety, I think, when I was younger. But like, the more you take responsibility and read books like this and whatever else, like, your life gets better. So
and that's a very masculine book you just held up. Like, all those principles of Stoic philosophy and discipline and honor are masculine principles. Those are not feminine principles.
True.
And masculine
I
principles
think in
order the
United
world.
States, maybe those are very feminine. I mean, very masculine. Like in Eastern Europe,
Don't. Dingbats are the same in Eastern Europe. It's universal. Dingbatism is international and universal. Don't start it. Don't start with that. Please don't start with that.
You know, we have a hard time like expressing a lot of emotion. It's just really viewed negatively to be emotional for men and women. There's no difference, to be honest. Like if you look at like, I don't know if any of you know this, but like look at like some of the Eastern European movies or whatever, and look at like the female characters and how they behave. I think you guys would be a little bit surprised.
But that's because it's more of a patriarchy there. It's more traditional. Like the women have succeeded in taking in the masculine principles. That's why there's not a lot of difference between.
Wait, I'm confused. You're saying on the one hand, you're saying stoicism is very masculine. I'm saying in Eastern Europe, a lot of women are stoic. You're saying,
But they
okay,
steal
Eastern
it
Europe,
from the men.
Because
It's a
in those
masculine
societies,
thing.
it's still very patriarchal. It's still very traditional in that sense. And so they instill those in everybody. That's why
I mean,
women
I
are
thought
like
in
that.
patriarchal societies, women are more feminine and just like submissive and do whatever the man says. And that's not really like.
Well, they do whatever the man says. So in some cultures, they're going to inculcate those beliefs and those principles in their daughter.
Okay, let's I'm gonna record this segment because I might make this a separate episode.
Also, or if you'd like to talk clout.
Guests, but apparently the most outrageous since Myron Gaines rose to infamy as part of the Fresh and Fit podcast, where he and his co-host say the most outrageously misogynistic things and humiliate their female guests. But apparently,
Yeah, let's stop right there. Okay, they say insanely misogynistic things, aka they say things that don't make women's fifis feel like butterflies and rainbows. They tell the truth about female nature and the dating market, aka extremely misogynistic, and humiliate their guests. They sign up to be humiliated. They sign up to be humiliated as long as it'll get them more likes and follows. So I don't want to hear it. If anything, they're just as bad as him for even signing up for it.
If you're in for a rant, it's going to be on.
since Myron Gaines rose to infamy as part of the Fresh and Fit podcast, where he and his co-host say the most outrageously misogynistic things and humiliate their female guests. But apparently, he's also written a book, and it's called
Humiliate Female Guests Who Willingly Know What They're Signing Up For, who are trying to get clout using Myron's Fresh and Fit platform to get media coverage or platform coverage on social media. But this woman here, she has a real inward hate boner for Myron Gaines. She's been highly critical of him. And I find it very, very funny because she's talking about men saying highly misogynistic comments and making content and rage baiting these women, and then they go and make a complete misandrist video just trying to take the guy down. Like it can't, it just writes itself, doesn't it? The hypocrisy of it.
Why Women Deserve Less. You guys seem to like watching me break down the worst books in existence, so here I am. Let's deconstruct this book.
There you go, guys. Buy her course, $240. Come on. Oh, but yeah, she's
The Connection course for $238.99. Under $250. The Connection course, skills for healthy relationships. Ma'am, do you have a healthy relationship with anybody in your life? I highly doubt it. This is hilarious. But hey, if she can get them, I guess get them.
been really leaning into this whole manosphere hate. I've made a couple of videos based on this, and I like analysing them because it just goes to show you just how much. I know Myron Gaines. He says a lot of things that are outrageous, right? In my opinion, he's a character. He's an outrage merchant, and I don't believe that he is the same person off the camera. Like the characters, social media. That's how he makes money. It's like saying Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Terminator off screen. They buy into it. They buy into what they see, and they believe that it's real. All right. Oh,
his bros. And it's actually bookended with Myron's warm feelings for his bros because the end also gives a very in-depth shout out to different men in his life. And this is one of the themes that will keep coming up in this book, which is that men like Myron say they want women with a burning fire in their loins, but fail to see that attraction is about more than who you sleep with. Attraction also refers to emotional connection, romantic desire, who you're attracted to that you maybe don't want to sleep with. Like someone could be only romantically interested in women, but also interested in sleeping with men. Or someone could only want to sleep with men, but also...
What is she even talking about? Is she trying to say that Myron's gay? I think there's been a lot of conjecture around that point. Who knows what she's getting at? Psychology, women just talking psychobabble BS. Where's her? I'm not seeing her degree on the wall.
Also be turned on by women. Or someone could be uninterested in sex at all, but still want a romantic relationship. So often men...
That sounds about right for married men, doesn't it, eh? Yeah.
And will put on this like aggressively heterosexual performance where they flat out disparage gay men and so forth. But when you actually look at their behavior, they have little to no actual interest in women. What they value is the company of other men, the opinions of other men, even when they boast about their female...
So apparently you're gay then.
This typical shaming language. Typical shaming language. If you say anything we don't like as women, you're gay. It's a tale as old as time.
Okay, that's very interesting. It's interesting how women will say that stuff about men when they feel threatened. Oh, well, you must be gay then. Or you hate women or you're gay. I see what she's getting at already.
Conquest, it's usually because they want to impress other men. So it just makes...
The thing is too, I know I keep stopping because she's talking absolute tripe anyway. Absolute...
Yeah, if y'all thought I stopped a lot, you haven't met G-Man. Do anybody watch his content?
Rubbish. Women don't understand the bond between men. If you got a good friend, a good bond with another male that you've gotten along with, you got that camaraderie, that those relationships last a lifetime, and there's very little, if any bullshit or drama. Now, for you guys who have been out there married or girlfriends, there's always bullshit drama in their friendship groups. There's always somebody married at first sight bullshit going on. Women don't understand the bond of men and how much importance the men put on that. And apparently if you do that, you're gay. Okay.
Makes me wonder when I hear men speaking about women with so much contempt and speaking about men with so much endearment. Do they not realize how that sounds? Chapter 1 is literally just a quote from...
Yeah, because our bros are likable people to be around and you're not outside of the bedroom, and a lot of you aren't likable there. So yes, we care about what they think more than we care about what you think, because they're smarter than you and more likable humans to exist around. Does that clear it up for you?
From some other pickup artist who claims that women are spoiled rotten because they're offered sex 1,000 times a month. First of all, no, they're not. Where are you getting that from? The average woman is not offered sex 1,000 times a month. But also, it makes it seem like if this were true, it would be such a great thing for women, which really reflects a misunderstanding about what women care about. Maybe men would want 1,000 offers of sex per month, but most women don't want that. They would much rather have respect. A lot of the instances in which they are offered...
That is lies. That is cap and lies. Most women would rather be a desirable sex doll than be a respected, brilliant mind. I promise you. Most women would choose getting sexual attention from the top 5% men than being respected for winning the Nobel Peace Prize. I promise you. Most women would rather have the perfect tush than win the Nobel Peace Prize. You go ask every woman on the planet, would you rather have the perfect P-star body, the perfect stripper body, or would you like to be acknowledged as one of the greatest, most brilliant minds to ever exist? What do you think the percentages would be on that, folks?
and which really reflects a misunderstanding about what women care about. Maybe men would want 1,000 offers of sex per month, but most women don't want that. They would much rather have respect. A lot of the instances in which they are offered sex are incredibly dehumanizing, where they're literally just seen as an object. And then
You've got to be joking, right? Look at this feminist bullshit. You got women out here. This guy is right. Women can log into any device and they'll have men coming at them. Have blatant offers of sex. Yes, do they want to accept all those offers of sex? No, but they are there. It is absolutely true. 1,000, I would say, would be a minimal. If they went out, if they put out a call on, say, Instagram, X, or they put a dating app where they said, oh, I'm just looking for fun, message me or swipe me if you want to have fun, you'd have 400. Just the way it works. Then they talk about, oh, women don't want sex. What are you talking about? Some of the most filthiest, and I say this in a good way, filthiest, most deviant people I've ever met have been women. They're worse than men a lot of the time in some of the kinks that they have for sex, in how much sex they're having, the variety of people they're having sex with, because they can. They are worse than men. They sit here and this is a lie that society tells you, that they want nothing to do with it, and all they want is a nice commitment. Just want one, they're sitting there waiting just for one nice guy to love them. In a sea of frogs, I want to find my prince. Anything but that is the.
Okay, so I pretty much So why is there so much man hating going on in current society? I mean, yeah, brainwashed by social media feminism, that's part of it, mixed with bad experiences with Chads and Tyrones, is what created the modern monster of man hating, in my opinion.
Truth. The more and more you get out there, the more and more you experience, you see the patterns, and you make your own assessments of the world and listen to what these women say. And that's why women hate this content so much, because you expose it. And they have no real comeback apart to say that you're gay or you're misogynistic or there's something else inherently wrong with you for stating the truth. That is a true point.
that's literally the whole chapter. It's just a quote from this pickup artist. Myron couldn't even be bothered to contribute anything to the first chapter of his book, just to quote one of his idolized homies. In chapter 2, he gives 3 anecdotes, one of a boy who gets laughed at by a girl he asks out, one of a man who's ghosted by his date, and one of a bitter old man. And I guess the message we're supposed to internalize as a result of these anecdotes is that women are mean and men are poor little victims. He says,
Well, okay, look, we all can agree that women are mean. I don't think anybody's going to even argue against that, even the most diehard feminists. I mean, that's a universal truth. Women are mean people. Like, when you get to the core of it, like who they genuinely are, not the fake nice girl act they put on at the dinner party, like who they genuinely are in a deep way. Yeah. Men are turned mean after life craps on them for 20, 30 years. Women were born mean-spirited, in my opinion, most of them. Men innocent victims? No, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, generally speaking, women kind of treat most men like shit. So
as men are taught to take women at their word, be nice, and always be a gentleman.
That's true.
Myron, quick question. Why do 1 in 3 women experience intimate partner violence mostly at the hands of male partners? Why?
that's not true. Please. I'm about to just Google it. And even if I Google it, do we believe that 1 in 3 men physically abuse their girlfriends? Nobody believes that horse crap. Nobody. I'm going to say this. Women abuse men verbally more than men abuse women physically. I'll bet my left sack on that. I'll bet. Let's just Google it. Let's just Google it. What percentage of men abuse their women and girlfriends or wives? This is bull. 1 in 3 women, around 24 to 30% worldwide, experience physical or sexual violence from an intimate partner. What is this based on? Where does the study come from that 24 to 30% of women experience violence from an intimate partner? I'm just gonna be honest. They must be counting some ridiculous crap as abuse for this to be so like 1 in 4 basically. Of one, so are we saying 1 in 4 men? I mean, that's not exactly what the study. Okay, does 1 in 4 men abuse their partners? It's ridiculous. AI, can you tell me if it's true that 1 in 4 men abuse women? Yeah, don't want to pop up nothing with that because they know it's bullshit. Even AI know it's bullshit. I don't believe that for 1 second. That's just I don't. I'm sorry. 1 in 4 men don't abuse their girlfriend and wife. I don't care what nobody says. I don't believe that. I would need to see the detailed study.
Okay, here we go. Right, I'm going to reel out all the stats. How about the men living with women that cop verbal domestic abuse every single day and physical abuse that never gets reported? You don't want to hear about that. Women are just they're completely victimized, and I'm not trying to roll over or brush it under the carpet. There are some animals out there that lay their hands on women, which I don't agree with. But you got to think about this too. Yes, there are some guys with a few screws loose that'll come home and they'll just, start laying into the missus. But
all right, I'm out, y'all. I don't know. I'm out. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Remember, how others treat you is their karma. How you treat others is your karma. Be nice to people because God's watching. And remember, I'm a nice guy. I just play AO on the internet, and I've never done anything remotely wrong my entire life ever. Make sure you keep your blood sugar and your blood pressure down to keep the Reaper from coming around. Make sure you get your yearly checkup so Satan don't catch up. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. RB Sensei out.